just continue.
So yeah, I think Diego and Sonny will end up having the same record. I think Sonny has the best outlook out of everyone, and Diego has like a kind of like a tough schedule.
Mm.
So I think he'll get Mickey and get the points for and get the 8th seed. Everyone else is gonna be good.
I don't know. I have Julian last game of the year, so if things come down to it, I feel like
that is Mickey.
I do have a Mickey like matchup at the end of the year.
You know he's gonna go for
Probably
like
make it
just some kind of redemption. He's gonna still play it hard out at that point. So it's no gimme.
I don't know. Maybe we'll see.
Yeah. So it's looking like consensus. Julian and Wilson are gonna be out. I only have myself in. And then that 8th spot is really up between Sonny and Diego, so it'll be interesting to see what happens going forward. It's going to be a eventful finish for sure.
No doubt.
Moving on, we have a topic I'm sure everyone will love to listen about. We've had a lot of controversy this year regarding trades. We had a controversy regarding the trade committee. We have people really are never satisfied with the outcomes of really anything.
Yeah, that's true, dude.
Thankless positions.
But we're just gonna go into it here. We have our segment. We have worst trades of the year. I'll start off here. One of the worst trades I've seen this year, made by Diego, sitting at this table. He traded James Conner away, who is the leading touchdown scorer in the National Football League right now. I think he was tied for first place at the time of the trade. It was Carson Wentz.
Fresh off waivers.
Carson Wentz, fresh off waivers, and David Johnson.
Also fresh off waivers.
Also was off waivers. David Johnson's no longer on Diego's team right now.
Back on Castro's team. Wentz is still on the roster.
Yeah,
just for pride's sake.
There's talks around Wentz right now. I won't mention him, but someone does want him for rental.
The reason that I was upset about this trade is because I was offering Devonta Smith and Myles Gaskin.
He's ready.
And I was just scoffed at for those offers, and then I see he gets traded away for a bag of chips, and I'm like,
yeah,
why? So when you made that trade with Castro, you weren't like, oh wait, Justin wanted him, like, let me go see if I could go get more out of him before I accept this trade. It was just like, oh, accept, like no further.
Yeah, it was really an impulsive decision. I do regret it, and at the time I was trying to be like play cool that this doesn't really matter, but
then he went on to drop 40 points.
Okay, that is different because Chase Edmonds got injured. Kyler Murray and D-Hop were injured the same game. So
I mean, he was still leading touchdowns.
He's relatively consistent. He's not always the flashiest 40-point play, but he's usually good for at least 10 to 12.
I don't know. But it's not, I don't know. It's because I wouldn't start him over Cook or Henderson, and choosing between him and Jacobs is like a toss-up most of the time. So,
I mean,
could upgrade that receiver.
I could have gotten a better receiver because my receivers right now are just, they're scary to look at pretty much. But
that might change after the podcast.
Or during the podcast. Who knows?
During the podcast, we'll see.
No. All right. I'll let Ed take over here. I'll just let you.
So yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna have a field day off the 3-8 cardiac kids, but obviously started out with the number 1 overall pick, and week after week we've seen the slow demise of this kid. So ranking the trades, I think his trade with Keenan Allen is his worst trade. To think originally it included Justin Herbert.
It did include Justin Herbert.
Keenan Allen and Justin Herbert for Alexander Madison. Keep in mind, Dalvin Cook had already returned at this point. Javonte Williams and T. Higgins. I mean, the first trade was vetoed. He got lucky and just
and continually thought that the guy was a good trade.
He was defiant. He threatened to drop his players and shit.
Trade.
I don't know. So that's terrible. He surely wishes he had Keenan Allen now. Probably would have changed the outcome of last week's matchup. And then the infamous trade made on the Taylor Sams stall, whatever. Christian McCaffrey for Tyreek Hill straight up. Julian actually, he had, what's his name? The backup. Yeah, he had Hubbard. Yeah. So he had his, tracks covered. and CMC had already missed like the majority of the
4
games he
weeks.
was going to miss at this
Yeah.
point. So trading him straight up for Tyreek Hill is a terrible deal. And I mean, he has him back now, but it cost him his 3rd round pick essentially. So
Yeah, what was the? It was what Terry McLaurin for Patterson
pretty much.
and
Some
and
bum
who?
dropped. I think
who
Brian
was it,
Edwards.
Castro? Brian Edwards.
Yeah, who's just recently dropped. So yeah, essentially
So essentially,
he traded his 3rd round pick
yeah.
to get him back. Which at this point it's probably too little, too late. But I mean, I don't know. I still would have done the deal.
Yeah, so it was technically like Hill and McLaurin for CMC back. What I don't understand is if he were to trade CMC for Hill like at the start of his injury, it would have been a fine trade. He waited so long, and he had his backup.
He waited until he came back.
Yeah, I mean, if you have the handcuff, who's doing relatively okay. I mean, he was scoring between like 12 and 15. He was fine. I mean,
And at this point, why are you like breaking down that you need him back if you like?
I think it's because Hill was on bye this week, and he realizes he can't lose another game, so he's just
But CMC is also has a bye coming up.
he's gonna
as
cross
well.
that bridge when he gets to it. I guess I don't know.
I guess gonna do another trade when CMC's on by. I don't know.
So I mean, with regards to worst trades, these are only 2 of Julian's worst trades. He has a handful more, but I mean, he's 3-8 for a reason. So we've all seen it. We've seen the demise.
Yeah, it's just a sad looking team over there. But
Speaking of demises, I'm gonna let these two over
yeah,
talk about.
so there's one team in particular who we thought was like he made some trades that seem incredible just to throw it all away. I think you guys could all guess it. It's Mike with he had CMC, he had
Let me
Devontae,
pull up this lineup.
he had Debo, and he still has Debo, right? But
I think he still has Debo.
those 3, like just having number like
And yeah, so you
Obviously-
got James Robinson, Eli, like they're serviceable backs.
Yeah.
I mean,
CMC and Devontae going into the playoffs, like he had no worry about the playoffs. Like he was gonna make it regardless. I don't know why he decided to trade away CMC for Tyreek Hill back. I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me. But
So he had Russell Wilson, James Robinson, CMC, Devontae Adams, Debo, Gesicki, Mitchell.
that's a
fun
scary team.
lineup.
Dude.
I mean,
If I face that team in a finals, dude, like I'm just counting my lucky stars if I even get
Yeah.
like
I
close
think
to 100 points.
his concern was his frustrations with quarterbacks. So, I mean, he spent up to get Lamar a little bit, and then I guess he had higher hopes for Tony, but he really hasn't been too consistent. So,
Yeah.
I mean, we'll see. This lineup's not bad at any point, but having that consistency.
Well,
is
let me
CMC.
look at his new lineup.
I think
Yeah.
his new lineup is actually just as good as his old one, in my
So
opinion.
right
I
now
think
he's
it's got more
got
upside. I would say that.
Lamar Jackson, James Robinson, Cordell Patterson, Debo, Tony, Gesicki, Mitchell.
But
And
with
then he's got
D-Hop,
D-Hop and
Yeah.
Tyreek
Tyreek
now
on the
on his bench. So it would be, what, Debo at the flex, Tyreek and D-Hop.
Yeah.
The only thing about D-Hop is, I mean, he hasn't really
Yeah.
been...
Arizona
He's
spreads
not
the ball
right now.
so-
He's the 30th ranked wide receiver in fantasy.
I mean, part of that has to do with injury, but other part of that is Arizona spreads the ball around. I think his best scoring game of the year is like 26 points. So, I mean, not bad by
in
any
week
means.
1, 26 points, 4 catches, 3 catches. Even Jacksonville, he had 20 yards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They spread it around. Now they got Ertz. I mean, that's another body.
Yeah.
They got some targets. I mean,
I mean, the thing about hamstring injuries, I think it's a hamstring
Yeah.
injury. Those do
they
tend to
they
linger.
yeah.
So, I mean, he's got a nice playoff schedule. He's got Detroit in week 1 of the playoffs.
Hmm.
Then he's got Indy and then Dallas.
Yeah, it's not bad at all.
I mean, only time will tell. But personally,
When you got those 2 elite players, it's tough to move on from.
I mean, we'll see. Maybe it'll all work out. Maybe he'll make a run to the championship.
Possibility still there.
But with Lamar, I feel like he definitely has higher upside because Russ after his injury, he's not looked the same. He looks
Yeah, the Seahawks are falling apart.
yeah that so.
Yeah.
Although when Russ is on his game, he's like
He's decent, 20
top.
points or so.
Yeah, he's like top quarterback.
Well,
What do you guys say, Castro?
yeah, I mean,
You kind of kicked
I
this
mean,
whole thing off.
You
smashed
killed
that,
him,
so.
dude. You just
well, it all started when I was on Xbox and I was just looking at his team, and Mike has been in my phone probably the entire season about wanting DeAndre Hopkins, and I didn't want to give him away, but I mean, I just traded him, wanted to see if maybe he would give up Devontae because I've been trying to get Devontae for a while now, honestly. And I didn't even text him about it. I just offered a trade, and then he let the group chat know, and it was accepted. And now I have Devontae Adams on my team.
Oh, so you've had multiple trades where there's no talks in between.
Yeah,
those are the best ones.
And it's just a silent agreement.
It's a good feeling when you don't talk to the person at all, and you give them an offer, and then minutes later it's just accepted. It's just different.
Yeah, I've been there with James Conner. It was a bad trade.
But yeah, I think Mike's team will do fine. And when I was doing the projections, I think I'm going to have him in the first round, and I'm honestly kind of concerned because Cordero is back, but he's still injured. I mean, if you look at his team right now, literally his entire team is just Qs all over the fucking place.
Yeah.
Everyone might be out or they might play.
This is Mike's team?
Yeah. Lamar, Robinson, Cordero, Tony, Elijah Mitchell, D-Hop, even though he's on bye. They're all questionable. But it's very boom or bust in my opinion. And if it booms, I can think he could score like at least like 150 a week.
Yeah, very true.
I think that really covers the extent of. Oh, I forgot to mention the trade that Mike got saved from. He almost got fleeced. It was Debo for T. Higgins and Chris Carson.
Yeah.
That would have been the fleecing of the century.
Yeah.
Right there.
Everyone has seen that at the time, but obviously now where we stand,
Carson. I don't think Carson's played since then.
He's on IR. He's done.
Yeah.
He's done, dude. He might be out
for the season.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
He just got dropped, actually.
Jeez.
Moving on, we have a very requested segment that the people have been waiting for. Eddie's going to go ahead and do his tiers of owners throughout the league. So I'll let you take it away.
All right, so for my tiers of owners, keep in mind it's not just looking at one season. It's over the course of time that I've spent with you guys in the league. And it's a little bit tricky because Mike's making his first return. This is Guy's first season, and Wilson's also. This is his first year with us. So for Guy and Wilson especially, I kind of have to go off just what they've done this year. You take that with a grain of salt. But everyone else, I have a pretty good feeling for how they are as a manager and as an owner. So I broke up the tiers into 4 categories. We have the GOATs, the contenders, the mids, and the shit owners. So I'm going to start from bottom to top, and we'll talk a little bit about each person. And you guys can chime in if you have any objection or you agree. So the absolute worst owner in the league, in my opinion, based on the history this year, especially weighing heavily, it's hard to argue anyone other than Julian. The first pick is quite a luxury when you get a guy like CMC, and I mean all the other draft picks, back-to-back picks at the turn of the rounds. It's not bad. He drafted a shit team, he managed a shit team, and now he's left with a shit team. You try to give him advice, you try to talk to him. He hinges very much on his emotions, and he's impulsive, and he feels it now. He's remorseful for what he's done, and it's just not good. I mean, this is someone who's made the finals in the past. He's a football diehard fan, and I know this is weighing heavily on him, and I'm hoping that he learns his lessons.
I don't think I've ever seen such a mental breakdown over fantasy than we witnessed that day.
I think the Browns weigh into it too when they're doing that.
When he threatened to drop all of his players, that day was just I was just reading that. I was like, oh my gosh, this kid's just losing it right now.
It's not good, man.
And then when the Herbert trade, I was like, oh my god, he's really just gone off the deep end.
I don't know. It's a shame.
As entertaining it may be,
it's hard to watch.
It
was
hard
tries
to watch.
Offer some friendly advice and stuff here and there.
Looking at his team to start off the year, honestly, it would have been way better if he would have just kept everyone at home. It would have been Justin Herbert, CMC, Deontay Harris, Keenan Allen, Terry McLaurin. He had Gesicki on his bench.
Yeah.
And
number 4 tight end.
And he could have got a flex off the waivers at any point, and he could have probably just started them.
That's where the emotions come into play. There's just no patience. A guy like Gesicki doesn't do good. Okay, you're off the team.
In the group chat, he's always saying if I just had if I was just given advice or if someone just told me not to do it. But we there has been times where Eddie is he's scratching his head because he has told them not to do these trades or come to him and he's no, but you guys didn't give me advice.
It hurts, man. It hurts to see.
Yeah, and as Ed, Ed's the puppet master of Julian, so to see his disciple like rebel against him and not consult him, it probably hurt him. So.
Well, all right, that's enough hate on Julian for now. We'll go to the next shit owner of the league, and I give this person a slight edge over Julian just because of how distant he is from football. Julian hinges on emotions. Kenny, he doesn't give a shit, man. I mean, he drafts his team based off no real standing on anything. He just picks a name. He's like, oh yeah, I guess I'll take him. I mean, when you look at success over the course of the past few years, this kid's always in the playoffs. He made it to a championship in the past, but I mean, everyone's goal here is to win the league, and I don't think Kenny can ever do that with how out of the loop he is with shit. He doesn't do waiver pickups. He really doesn't look at trades. You try to text this kid, he doesn't say anything. I mean, we love Kenny. We love having him in the league, but for I don't know, the competitiveness of the league. It's
Justin, wait, what are your thoughts? This is just news. How that the Dolphins just got Philip Lindsay.
Gaskin out.
They just got Philip Lindsay. They just got him.
I mean, I guess you could use
tank Gaskin.
Yeah, I guess you could use all the help he could get in the backfield, but
maybe he'll do good there.
Gaskin's been getting 20 carries in games, so
Wildcat at
yeah,
the
they
red
went
zone.
for some reason a heavy Wildcat last week. I don't know what that was about.
All right, anyway, go back to Richard Wicker.
I mean, yeah, that's pretty much all there is to
The
say
thing about
him.
Kenny is I feel like his team always competes because he's just whenever it's his pick, it's just
The top
the
person.
top person. So it's always a well-rounded, there's no bias. Yeah. But then it could work against him. He drafted Miles Sanders
in the third round.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't even know, was he that highly
No,
projected?
he
or was that just
I feel like Kenny has never had a hard pick ever. I feel like when Kenny picks, has he ever been after the fourth pick?
He usually has that high pick. Yeah.
He usually has a top 4 pick. He always gets the 3, the 4 or whatever. So it's always
the thing is, you think of his team and how he just doesn't manage it. If you clicked on his thing, how many transactions does he have on the year?
Can't be
11 acquisitions, 0 trades.
11 acquisitions.
That's less than 1 a week.
Last year, Larry Fitzgerald was on his team for the greater part of the season.
Versus Ed, 35 and 11 trades.
I mean, I don't know. You don't have to have your life revolve around fantasy, but just checking the app every Tuesday morning to see who you want to play.
0 trades, just Guy also has probably 0 trades.
But he probably has at least 20 transactions.
He has 20 acquisitions, yeah. So
it makes a difference. So I don't know. Kenny will always be a threat, but his ceiling is kind of capped.
I feel like his ceiling now is just way lower. We saw he was second for second or third, and now he's kind of creeping back down.
Yeah.
He's at 6-5.
I think he might creep down to
his team is
going
I don't think he scored that.
DJ Moore was a top 5 receiver at some point. This is someone whose stock you got to try to move like that. I don't know. There's no sell high efforts at Tyler Lockett, another guy who could have been sold
the last couple weeks. Well, he scored 130 last week and lost to Guy. 110, 101, 97, 118. So, his team
had a better start to the year with more in Lockett.
Yeah, we're more in Lockett. We're doing very well,
I had something to think about when I was doing my projections. You might actually play Kenny.
I know.
How does that
first
make
round
you,
of
the first
playoffs?
round, how does that make you feel?
I think I'd like my chances, but this kid also is enchanted, so he's not someone you want to play.
He almost came back on Guys. Jonathan
did.
Taylor, 50-point performance.
Yeah, that's crazy. So it's not a matchup I'd go into comfortably. I don't think anyone would. But so that's it for shit owners. Now we're going to get into the mids, and I'd say for the most part, all these names are relatively closely ranked. But I'll start from the number 9 spot, so the most mids team, I guess, or the least mids team. I don't know how you phrase it. Will be Wilson. This is his first year joining the league. I have the rankings over here. So yeah, we were happy to have Wilson join kind of last minute. He's another football diehard. He's big into fantasy and whatnot. And he had a pretty decent draft spot to start the year. I think he had the 7th pick. He got Chubb. He put together a pretty decent team, but I kind of think he's been the most unfortunate person this year with Calvin Ridley just dipping on him. Robert Woods, ACL, like, I don't know. Even there have been guys in and out of his lineup. I'm pretty sure Hawkinson's been battling injury. So I think Wilson is a better owner than his record and his performance indicates. But, based on this point in time, there's not a whole lot I can say. This is a small sample size. So we'll give him the benefit of the doubt that he'll be back better next year. Any input on Wilson? I mean, it's pretty much what I was going to say.
Yeah, I mean, I think he drafted a pretty good team, and he's kind of been unfortunate. Yeah, if you look at he had Stafford, Chubb, Swift, Hawkinson's been good at tight end, and then unfortunately,
even that trade he made to get Clyde, like he could be a decent flex at this point for Michael Thomas, who never fucking played.
Yeah, that was very questionable. That draft pick, though. Michael Thomas draft pick, that was very questionable.
Somehow it worked out for him, but
I think he got unlucky this year. I'm surprised he hasn't made a move for a wide receiver yet. He's still throwing
very stingy.
Jacoby Myers out there.
I mean, his literal team name indicates just how stingy he is. You wish. So.
Yeah. But I mean,
time will tell.
Yeah, with a little bit more luck, I feel like his record doesn't really indicate how his team has been. But
I agree.
Week 1, he put up like 160. I had to put up like 177.
Yeah, that was a fucking shootout. What do you guys think of Wilson? Any input?
I mean, it's his first year in our league. Hasn't really made much moves besides the Clyde Edwards trade, which was like,
it was a good move.
I mean, the thing about Wilson is he will not make a trade unless he's raping you
by a large amount. Yeah.
He wants to rape people.
Trade raping, guys. Trade raping. For all our non Itrad fantasy members.
All the other viewers.
Yeah.
All right, we can move on to the next one.
Yeah, so the next one, we're still in the midst here. I actually have the man sitting right next to me, Diego, at my number 8 spot. Somewhat of a regular season warrior in years past. Usually puts together a fairly decent team, but I think that's just it. Just always kind of middle of the road. Hesitant to make some moves, impulsive to make others.
Yeah. Okay, I just want to say that I've had this fear of making a trade where I get raped. And I made the impulsive decision to make a trade this year, and it backfired tremendously.
You got PTSD now.
So now, like all my fears came true that it was a bad trade. Like how am I gonna recover? But I'm not one to make trades. I think I do just stagnate and have a plateau where I could where my ceiling is.
I mean, overall, you're a fine drafter. Usually put together a competitive team. Relatively high scoring. I mean,
honestly, I hate when people are just on the wrong side of the trade because it makes them feel like they can't trade, and then in result, eventually there's going to be no trading at all, which is terrible.
That's what we're
You're just going to have to be stuck with trading with this kid, and it's going to suck.
But yeah, I mean that's pretty much it. And then getting the slight edge over you, I'm actually going to give Sonny a little bit more respect.
What does he even do?
Obviously, Sonny has been one to make some heavily criticized trades.
Yeah, no, that is actually... I'm going to stop him right there, dude. That is he should be in the shit category, honestly.
Dude, I disagree, because despite how bad he's been in the past,
there's a difference between being afraid to make trades where you get raped and just making trades where you're going to get raped regardless. He always pulls the trigger on a bad trade for some reason. I don't know.
If we were to make this list a year ago, maybe he'd be in the shit tier, but... I mean, his team's been really unfortunate too, and he still has a stronger pulse than Wilson. He's made enough moves. That trade he made with Castro really kept him afloat.
I mean, he had Tyler, Saquon, Monty, DK.
I forgot about that trade. I think that was another bad trade.
That was a bad trade.
Trading Zeke for Saquon. Do you still stand by that trade?
Yeah, I do still stand by that trade.
Zeke has kind of tapered off.
Because, dude, Evans
sucks.
Yeah. Evans was there. And there was AB, and AB just disappeared for 6 weeks.
DK, right?
I got DK.
And now he has Russ, too, so I mean, the upset's there for that.
Wait, who got DK in the trade?
He did.
I got DK.
He traded away Evans.
I got DK and Saquon. He got Zeke and Mike Evans.
The reason why it was so bad is that was the week after Saquon got hurt. Sonny had to. I mean, that kept him afloat. He didn't really win that many games.
Sonny's team would have been.
His scoring could have been even worse.
Yeah, he might have 2 wins right now. Honestly,
But I mean, I don't know. I feel like he's in
Saquon's
it.
back, so I was looking for the long run. I knew my team was good enough to stay afloat at least.
It might age well, but
It will.
overall, yeah, I think Sonny's very competitive. He wants to win. He brings a lot of energy to the league, and I think he's a growing owner. I think he's learned from his bad mistakes in the past, like Devontae Adams and whatnot, and we'll see where he goes. I mean, has he been to a finals? Yeah, he has been. He's
Sonny
usually
has?
in the playoffs. Yeah, he went
When?
the year I made it, my first year.
He played you? I thought you played Simon.
No, that was the year after. I played Sonny.
Sonny
my
went
first
to
year.
a finals?
He did, yes, 2017.
That's why the years didn't
Jeez.
count.
That was such a Mickey year then.
No
dude.
years
Dude,
like
because
before.
his
his
was
luck
good.
is really crazy, like, in this league. Really is.
Sonny was my number 7. At my number 6, I have the two of you, 5 and 6. So number 6, I actually have Castro.
In the same mid tier.
Yeah, you guys are still mids.
That's all.
Sorry. But, upper mids makes you feel any better. Sonny
Fair
was
enough.
mids. So yeah, Castro, you've really turned your team around. I mean, at a point, you kind of looked like one of the weaker rosters, and then over the course of the last 2 to 3 weeks,
Did build up his
it's
roster.
like a top 4 team, pretty arguably now.
So is that still just mid though?
Well, I mean, we're looking at a 3-week sample size. I'm thinking about through the course of years and all. And I mean, I don't think you've ever made a finals. Probably made a couple of playoff berths. I mean, just
Yeah,
kind of middle of
yes.
the road here and there. But it seems you're on the upstick. I mean, those trades you pulled off, those were next level
some
league
good trades
winning
have been-
caliber trades. I mean,
I respect.
that's impressive. And who knows? I mean, I don't know. A couple weeks from now, when this is all said and done, we'll see just how remarkable those trades are, depending on how far you go. What do you guys think? Do you agree?
I agree. I think the trades he's making have been he's been on the good part of the deals he's made in the past couple of transactions.
But yeah, you're part of the trade that imploded Mike.
Yeah,
I mean, getting Connor, getting
Connor for
McLaurin,
free.
Oh, yeah,
getting
you.
getting Adams. I mean,
getting
team,
Terry McLaurin as his flex, like that's
Yeah, I
that's
mean,
solid.
team's looking really good right now.
Let's see how it goes.
Especially after what it looked like
One.
after the first 2 weeks of the season.
Yeah, 100%. So, my final mids team is the man to my left here, former champion Justin. You can't take that championship away. That was a remarkable season, taking Lamar late. CMC was a bit of a gift at number 3 with Simon and Castro picking the first 2 picks, but always competitive, usually in the mix of things. Some moves this year, some draft picks haven't exactly panned out, so
Yeah.
I have you right on the cusp of contenders and mids.
Yeah, I feel like that's fair enough.
You're right there.
I feel like
think the
I made some
stinginess-
draft picks that didn't really pan out. I don't think I'm ever going to draft a tight end before round 5 ever again. Drafted Kittle last year, didn't really pan out in the 3rd round. Actually, Kittle,
He was hurt.
yeah, but it's just
They really, in general, shouldn't be picked that high.
yeah. Waller this year took him 2nd round over Justin Jefferson,
Joe Mixon.
Joe Mixon, you could say.
You could say he's top 5.
And so him I overpaid for another person too. Oh, Dak. I didn't need to take Dak as early as I did. I think I took him
6th round,
5th or
probably.
6th round. And Amari Cooper too.
Just boomer bust guys.
Yeah, just didn't really draft a lot of consistency on my team. Counted on Miles Gas. I mean, Miles Gaskin's been doing better since Malcolm Brown was on IR. But there was that one game where he got 0.3 points. I was at that game,
Oof.
just watching him.
Imagine going to a game and that's the player you're rooting
He
on.
got 7, but that's the thing. He wasn't even on the field. He only got
put
7,
in the doghouse,
7
right?
snaps, for some reason.
That's rough.
There were some players that I could have traded off earlier, but I wanted to wait, see if they could come to fruition, and didn't really happen. So I definitely missed opportunity there. Just gotta learn for next year, really.
That's it. I think you missed some
Next-
sell high windows with Mike Williams,
Yeah.
Cooper, guys like that. At least one of those guys, Thielen. Thielen's been the most consistent of the bunch, but one of those guys could have been pawned off for
Yeah.
a better back, probably.
I think it just goes to show that drafting a QB or a tight end high just doesn't
Yeah.
really make much sense because these guys that put up around the same numbers.
See, that's the thing. When I won the championship, I drafted Lamar in the last round. I drafted a tight end 10th, 9th or 10th. I remember I had Hunter Henry that year. He was pretty good. And that's when he was on the Chargers.
Yeah.
And I went, it was running back, wide receiver, and I waited, on tight end, quarterback. But
Yeah.
haven't really been following that strategy
Living
as
there.
of late. So,
We'll see. So, we'll get into the next category now. Now we have the contenders, and ironically, it's 2 other new additions to the league this year. At number 4, I have Guy. Obviously, again, 1-year sample size, but as it stands right now, he projects to be the number 1 seed. He's 9-2, I think, or 8-2, whatever.
Yeah,
9-2.
I think he's 9-2.
But
Yeah, he's 9-2, dude. 2 games up on you.
Yep. But you drafted a very surprising team. Jonathan Taylor is literally like striking gold. I mean, number 1 back.
13th pick, I think, in the draft.
Yeah, first and second round.
Oh, no, 12, I think.
Yeah, 12 or 13.
Well, I mean, he had back-to-backs.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure Kelsey is still the number 1 tight end, although he's not the same Kelsey from last year where he's literally putting up like 25 a week. Who else? Jamar Chase, that kind of looked risky and shaky at the time coming out of the preseason like we talked about earlier. He's a set and forget, top 10, high upside receiver.
Wide receiver number 6 right now.
Mm-hmm. Godwin, I mean, he's shaky, but
number 7.
as a wide receiver too, I think he's a really good guy to have. Relatively consistent and still has that high upside. Who is his flex right now? I'm trying to think.
Gallup.
Yeah, so he's
I mean,
a little
it's a
bit.
shaky there.
It's Sutton or Gallup.
Yeah,
Really.
he's weak at running back 2 and flex, but I mean,
I think
Power
if Gallup
is
plays this, well, if CD doesn't play, then Gallup's fine.
yeah. But I mean,
Evan Ingram is coming.
kind of looking at him as an owner and a manager, he's been kind of hesitant and skittish to do any moves. Has he made any trades? I don't think he's made one. So I mean,
No trades.
not to say you need to make trades or a bunch of transactions to be great, but for the most part, you do kind of see that correlate to some success. And I mean, we'll see. As the number 1 seed, there's no buys anymore. All it takes is 1 bad week for you to go crashing down. So, guy's got a big opportunity with Jonathan Taylor on his team, and we'll see how far he can take him. Not too bad. You guys feel about the same? Okay.
Yeah.
There's only so much you could say. About
We
one
got,
guy.
yeah.
It was 1 year sample size, so not much
Yeah,
to go off.
we'll see.
But I do think he was a little Mickey this year.
A little Mickey.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
I mean, the only thing about his team, it's not too deep, like
It's
you
not.
said.
Yeah.
So it's like 1 bad week, and I'm pretty sure
I think
his
he's vulnerable.
his
yeah.
matchups in the first round of the playoffs are
They're not great.
not great. So I mean, we'll see how that goes.
I would hate to see him devastated after that, but
Yeah,
it's the nature of the
Jonathan
game.
Taylor's got New England that week.
That's tough. And Denver has KC, right? So
No, LA has Chargers.
Chargers, Chiefs,
Has
big
KC.
one. Okay.
The
Still a divisional game.
The Bengals have
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Denver.
So that'll take us to our next one. So still in the contenders tier, we have Mike returning to the league. He's been great in the past. He's always been a contender, in the early days, a championship winner, like the prehistoric days. But always in the playoffs, always super competitive, always looking to make trades and moves. And sometimes that works for him, sometimes that works against him. I mean, he's made some questionable moves in the past couple of weeks, but prior to that, all the moves he's made have been pretty much like unanimously beneficial for his team. So we drafted before the preseason was over, and he lost J.K. Dobbins. That was a pretty big blow. And looking at his team now, you would not even remember that. He's done a really good job, overcoming that, and you got to give him a lot of credit for that. And I think his team might have the most upside of any team that's going to make the playoffs. With that being said, the floor could kind of fall out on him with some of the names in there, but definitely a top owner in the league, I'd say. Has been since the start.
Yeah.
I mean,
His Achilles heel is just he gets too trade.
yeah,
he's
he
another
gets
emotional
trade
one.
happy, dude.
He does.
He's
11
been known
trades.
to love trades ever since like
Yeah.
the
65
beginning of these trades.
65 acquisitions.
That's got to lead the league. How many trades?
I don't know. Look at Nick.
11.
Yeah, Nick's a acquisition fiend.
98.
Jesus, 98
Right.
acquisitions.
How does that even happen?
Scratching and clawing for new players every fucking week.
Dude, I remember the one week he needed a tight end and he dropped and picked up
He had CJ Uzomah. the one
eight
week, and he-
different times.
yeah, CJ Uzomah ended up popping off. and he started.
98.
But it's actually funny we're talking about Nick because now we're into the quote-unquote GOAT tier, and I have Nick as my number 2 overall owner. Ever since he joined the league, I don't think he's ever missed the playoffs. I think he's been a top seed twice his first 2 years. Pretty much always top 3 in scoring. This year is a bit of a down year for him, a little bit shaky. His team isn't the powerhouse that it has been in years past, but I mean, like we just mentioned, those transactions, he's always trying to better his team. He's kind of stingy with trades, but he will make a move here and there. and most of the time he comes out on top. That Keenan Allen trade really helped him a lot this year. That Mike Thomas one, rather, kind of worked against him because now he's weak at running back too. But overall, very competitive, and he's always trying to better his team. So I have high respect for what he's done since he's joined the league.
I could see why Kevin decided to not let him back in the league.
You talking about Mike?
About Mike, yeah.
We're talking about Nick right now.
Nick. Oh, my bad. I'm shot.
You're shot. Wow, dude.
Jeez, man.
I'm shot.
Yeah, disregard what this kid just said.
I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah,
Talk about Nick, dude.
Nick's always been solid. The thing that sticks out about me most about Nick, his first year in the league, you remember he had, was the first or second?
First year. Right? Yeah, first year.
When he took Saquon.
That's surprising.
And everyone was like thinking,
clowning him, telling him
thinking he was just Giants dick eater, and then Saquon goes on and
number one
like,
back.
yeah.
Yep.
So
yeah, you can't take away what he's done. And who knows?
And he took Najee first round this year too.
Yeah, somewhat pending.
Who's been pinned? What is he now? What Najee?
He's got to be top 5.
He's number 4.
Yeah.
So
number 4 taking at 9. I think.
no shame in that. I mean, you could say JT was taken after, but no complaints getting the top 5 back at that spot.
Yeah.
So. And then, unfortunately, in my number 1 spot, I have Mickey himself, Kevin, the reigning champ. You can't take away what he's done in the league. He always drafts a very good team. He usually doesn't make a lot of trades. That's probably just because he doesn't have to. He regularly drafts good, deep teams. His late round picks often pan out, at least one of them, like Michael Pittman this year, Jalen Hurts. Some of his picks this year didn't take off like he probably hoped with Antonio Gibson. Kyle Pitts has been somewhat boomer bust, but always high scorer. I don't think he may have missed the playoffs like 1 or 2 times, but always a contender, always a pest, just always a
pest,
a pain in the ass.
Yeah,
you can't. You got to give respect where it's due. So
Yeah, Kevin's always been solid. I think I only remember him missing the playoffs once.
I think he took last one here.
Yeah, I think it was the year I won.
Might have been.
I think he took last that year. But then he won it. Right? Did he win after that? He did, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Last year.
Mickey year.
Yeah, so Kevin's always been solid. He used to be in the earlier days known for raping people.
Yeah, made a living with him.
Yeah. But, yeah, solid owner. Love having him in the league.
For sure.
So, guess we'll
go.
Hey.
That's good. Wait, what do you guys do?
A podcast.
join the
podcast.
podcast right now.
Oh, wait, are you recording?
Yes.
Come in.
Come in.
Come in.
What is this for?
Say
Fantasy
the
league.
camera.
Say hello.
Oh, shit, we're good.
What up, dude?
Damn.
You like the Knicks strip, man. That's it.
Yo, the game was fire yesterday, bro. It was like half Lakers fans, though, bro.
Yeah?
Alright,
They
I
showed
wasn't
up.
as
No, you're good, man. You're good.
Alright, see you.
Later, man.
Peace.
Yeah, so that does it for the
Tiers.
owner's tier category.
Just one person's opinion, but I feel like I was pretty fair with the
Yeah.
analysis.
Well, the league wanted this, so
Yes.
now they got it. Going into our next segment, we do this one really quick. 'Cause I'm pretty sure we're pretty. Let me look at the timestamp on this.
Imagine this wasn't recording this whole time.
Yeah.
You're just talking like a
Brad's out like 45 minutes.
No, we're making good time.
So we can go through. We're just gonna go through really quick the busts and the kind of gems found in this draft. Just a couple names. I think Diego, you took Allen Robinson.
Allen Robinson in the 3rd round.
Third round.
That's the bust of the year.
That
He shouldn't be on
actually
a roster anymore.
Yeah, he is actually horrible. And, like,
That's crazy.
as a Bears fan, what the fuck happened to the guy, dude?
I don't know if he sucks or our whole team just sucks.
I don't know, man.
Like,
I don't think.
Who was the quarterback for the Bears last year?
Trubisky. I mean, everyone shits on Mitch. But
yeah. He likes Robinson, I guess. I don't know.
how can you not like him? There's no chemistry between him and Fields. The team's just a fucking disaster.
Waller's been kind of disappointing. AJ Brown, another one.
I mean,
He's had 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And he's just hurt.
like,
every other
I've
game.
always been waiting for him to, like, turn this corner where he's gonna, like, pop off. And he did for 2 games in a row, so I was like, alright, this is good. This is our fucking liftoff where I'm gonna fucking...
Now he has 2 injuries.
And now he's just, battling a chest injury and a hand injury. Like, I don't know what's up with the guy.
Maybe time to cut ties.
Did you have any written down?
Miles Sanders,
Oh, yeah, Miles Sanders.
the
Terrible.
28th overall pick, and he's the 49th overall running
Yeah,
back.
That's horrible.
Bad. That is bad.
That's horrible. barely edging top 50.
At running back too, like not even overall, like just running back.
Do either of you guys have Fat Mike Davis written down?
I do, right here.
You got
Mike
Fat
Davis. He was fourth. He was a fourth round pick, right?
Yeah.
He's the last pick of the fourth, the top of the fifth. He was Julian at the turn.
I mean, no one knew Cordero was gonna really just come in and just be goated. Like,
Swiss Army knife.
he was
Yeah.
laughed off for 1 week too. He was on waivers for 1 week. No one touched him after he had a good game, and then the next week after, he was the top claim when you got him.
and now he's shipped off to Mike.
I just feel like the Mike Davis thing, like they paid him and it was like,
There's no one else, right? He has to get the touches.
Yeah.
But who the fuck is Mike Davis?
Fat man. Fat Mike Davis.
Fat Mike.
Some other names, Saquon, he was taken fifth, right? By Sunday.
Yeah.
Hasn't he? I mean, he's been hurt, but that's just
That was a risk. That was part of it.
yeah. I had A-Rob, Waller, Davis, Brown, Saquon, Miles Sanders. Is there any
I didn't. But,
other busts?
Mike Davis was the first one to come to mind. Trying to think.
I don't really.
I mean, the
I think that's-
quarterbacks in
A
general.
gave
have-
in the second round.
Calvin
Oh
Ridley.
yeah, Antonio Gibson for sure.
Calvin Ridley
Oh,
was
yeah.
a second
Calvin Ridley.
second round pick. He doesn't even play just because he doesn't feel like.
Yeah, he's not feeling too
Sore
good.
pussy.
There's always that one player like every year that
Yeah.
that just doesn't feel like playing football.
The
anymore.
second round, there's
For some
always a
reason.
landmine in there. It's a matter of who fucking steps on
Yeah.
it.
Calvin really, actually, that might be the worst one.
But some gems we have. I mean, Cooper Kupp was taken
Fourth round.
fourth rounder
Purposely.
over Robert. After Robert
was
Woods,
first, yeah.
and he's wide receiver 1.
By a long shot.
Jonathan Taylor. How many running backs were taken over him? Like
At least
The entire
6,
first
7.
round.
First 5 picks. First 6 picks.
I mean, who
7
wasn't
picks.
first rounders that weren't running backs were
8
Kelsey, Adams.
That's it.
That's it.
Yeah, so
So,
10 picks.
10 running backs
That's
or 9
crazy.
running backs.
yeah.
taken over?
The concern was Quentin Nelson was hurt at the time, I think. Wentz hurt his ankle.
Marlon Mack is back.
Marlon Mack was
Yeah,
back.
Raheem
they
Hines
paid
there.
they paid Hines too.
Yeah. But they had fully committed to him.
Yeah, so kudos to the guy. I actually can't even read what this says.
Jeez, man.
I have a
can't
best.
read any of
I have a
this.
good find. Leonard Fournette.
That's
Oh
a
yeah,
good-
Leonard Fournette was. I think he was like 98th pick in the draft. Probably another player that was just the best running back available on the ESPN.
Oh, I guess I need a running back.
He's
I guess I'll take
He's
it.
become the workhorse on that team.
Dude, what does that say? I can't even. Oh, Hurts. It says Hurts.
Oh yeah.
Hurts was
Mickey Hurts,
Mickey Mouse himself.
Mickey Hurts. Hurts is Mickey.
the biggest Mickey player.
It's
of
kind of
the
gross.
year.
Like if you win with him, how do you even feel good about it? You got to feel gross.
And the reason, and the thing is, when Kevin drafted him, he's gonna be like, "Oh, Jalen Hurts is gonna be a top 3 quarterback." Watch, and it's not because of him being
A
good,
great quarterback,
or
yeah.
carrying the team. It's because they get the ball at the 1,
Yeah,
and
Goddard
he
gets it
just
down the line.
and Goddard gets him there, and then Hurts just runs it in like a fucking Mickey.
Hurts was 87th in the draft.
Wow.
Number 1
I mean,
QB.
points are points, but I don't
Yeah.
know. You got to feel gross about having that jerk off.
Of course, he doesn't.
Another good find. Gasecki. It was
On waivers.
taken. Julian took him. Who has him? Oh, Mike does right
You
now.
cut him though. I don't believe.
He was drafted.
I probably would have done the same. Though,
He was
yeah.
drafted 120th.
Wow.
And now he's a top
120th, and he's the number 4 ranked tight end right now.
I mean, yeah.
Honestly, I feel like I would have taken him had I not drafted Waller, just because he's going on a contract year.
Yeah.
He's always been like featured in the offense, but before this season he was more like just kind of a red zone threat type guy.
He just has those games where he goes missing. Like he still has. He has 2 of
Yeah,
them.
he had 0. Well, I mean, against Baltimore, he had 0 catches, but he had 7 targets.
That's true.
He just didn't,
Just happened.
But he averages like 8 targets a
Yeah.
game. So,
Not bad at all.
but him and then Swift. Swift was like 42nd or
Yeah.
something. I know because I wanted to take him, and Wilson picked the pick before me,
God. Who'd you
and
get
I
instead?
ended up getting Thielen, I think.
Oh, that's a big drop off.
So yeah,
Everyone was scared of Swift though. I think he had a groin coming into
Yeah.
the year.
yeah, I took Thielen 43rd. So unfortunate, but
You got a blank paper there, boy. You got anything written down?
It's all in my head, man.
Oh, word. Okay.
well, I mean that's all I have for.
So who's the best pick?
Yeah, who's the best
Tom
one?
Brady, the 95th pick.
I know his own player.
My own player. No, for real, it's probably Cooper Kupp. I drafted multiple busts over him.
Plus,
I mean, I don't know. Kevin just got
Yeah,
real
Cooper
fucking
Cup
lucky
is
with that
like
guy.
the pick. Like he's the league winner this year.
All right, let's move on to the pick'ems. We're getting kind of crunched for time right now. So we'll go around. We'll start with this matchup. We got Eddie versus Guy. I wish I could get the graphic on the screen how they do like
Oh, that would be
the
like,
games.
yeah.
But
Both of us have our arms folded out. Like,
Eddie versus Guy. This one's a close game right here. Guy has Kelsey and Mahomes on bye, so just by default, I'm going to go with Ed. I think Ed's got some nice matchups. Depends on really what Darnell Mooney does, because
well, he might not. If CD plays, I'll probably put him over Mooney.
yeah, true. You're not starting Waddle
Who does he? I'm starting Ayuk this week,
versus Minnesota.
just to rub it in Julian's face for that terrible trade.
But yeah, I think Ed pulls through here. Jonathan Taylor has Tampa Bay.
If there was ever a tough matchup, Buffalo was supposed to be tough.
Guys starting Daniel Jones.
Yeah, starting Daniel Jones, I
And
think right there is.
Ingram. I don't know about that.
I'm taking Guy over Ed because I think he's gonna win out the rest of the year. And even though he has Daniel Jones and Evan Ingram, I don't think it really matters if he's starting Mooney at all
Why
or
don't you like
Knox or
Mooney?
Ayuk
Why don't you like him?
because he's mids.
I mean, Mooney's been the go-to guy for Fields instead of fucking
16
Ray
targets last
Who do
week.
you have?
I have Ed going, just because no Kelsey, no Kelsey, no Mahomes. I think.
I think it's gonna be close. I mean, what was that?
He has Gallup. If CD's out, then he has the advantage over that. Jamar Chase catches a touchdown every game. Chris Godwin's
Chris
back.
Godwin against Indy is a really
JT and Melvin Gordon.
Chris Godwin scares me the most out of anyone. I'll say that.
Well, you're not going to vote on your game.
No,
So
no.
next we got Kenny versus Mike. I got Mike this week. Kenny has no Kamara, looks like. I just think the matchups are more in Mike's favor. You've got Cordell Patterson versus Jacksonville, James Robinson versus Atlanta, Lamar versus Cleveland. We saw what Mac Jones was able to do versus that defense. That defense has kind of been all over the place. Debo versus Minnesota. Kenny's just teamed out. I think Kenny's going to lose like 2 of his last games. I think he'll lose this one.
Is it
Might
possible
not.
he falls out, or does he already have 6
No.
wins? He has
Yeah,
6
6
wins.
wins. I mean, what are there's 3 games
I
left?
had him drop to 7.
Everybody in the bottom half
Would have to win.
would have to win.
Well, not everyone, or just one of them.
Yeah.
Either you or Sonny.
That would be funny.
So for this game, I actually have Black Sheep pulling off the upset over Kearney Satriales. He's projected to lose by a fair, decent amount, but I don't know. I think Tyler Lockett could just randomly have like a 30-point game this week. DJ Moore looks a lot better with Cam. Justin Jefferson is like a set and forget top 5 receiver. He's insane. He's probably not going to have Kamara this week, but I don't know. Rodgers has been playing well. He put up a lot of points last week. It's more so on Mike's team, just kind of underperforming. He has Tony starting. Patterson might not play. Lamar in a divisional game. Eli Mitchell's still banged up, so I think the window of opportunity is there for Kenny to pull off an upset.
Yeah, I think it's close, but I got Mike winning. Just because Kenny's team, like, his running backs don't look scary. Sure, he's gonna have garbage time for Fournette out there. But like, if you're banking on Lockett having a boom game, I don't know, dude.
And that would be like the route to victory.
Yeah.
Miles Sanders, what's he going to do?
Yeah, Miles Sanders, Leonard Fournette, they're not gonna do much.
Indy
But on the flip
defense.
side, yeah. Well,
Against
I don't know.
the-
Kenny has some lucky ass fucking defense picks. Like,
But that's the thing. He doesn't care that he's playing Leonard Fournette against his own defense. Like, he doesn't.
yeah, that's true actually. Mike on the other side, starting Tony. That's kind of sus. But he has nothing on his bench to like really like pick up the slack. So
Yeah.
I don't know. It'll be close. I got Mike though.
I am going with Ed and going with Kenny, just because I think his receivers are going to snap. And I don't think... I think what Kenny's team is like what Mike's team like supposed to be, like usually, with the receivers, with Justin Jefferson, DJ Moore, and Justin Jefferson. I think they can carry him and just straight out just beat him. If Cordell's out, then I think this game is just wraps. If he has Elijah Mitchell out flex, I think we're gonna see one of the weeks where.
Don't worry about it. Wait, did you say I'm gonna win or guys gonna win? I thought you said.
No,
We're
he's talking
talking
about
about
Kenny.
you.
You're shot too.
When he started off, he said I got.
No, he's
Ed,
going
I
with
got
Ed. He's going with you.
You're going
Ed,
with me.
for picking Kenny.
Oh, okay.
You're also shot.
You're
This kid is
shot.
shot.
Did you pick your guy?
You did pick a guy, right?
I think God, yeah. Okay.
All right. Next matchup, we got the Cardiac Kids versus this table's own Mas Nike. I got Castro in this one. Julian starting Ty Johnson at his flex. I just think Castro's team is a lot better on paper. So
And he has Dalton Schultz running out
He
there.
swears by
So
Dalton Schultz.
maybe he's got something up his
I
sleeve.
mean, I don't get the Dalton Schultz hate. Like he's not bad.
He's not good either, man.
But he's not like this.
He's only had like 1-2 bad games in the past couple weeks.
Would you want him as your tight end?
I mean, if I were the thing is, the 1 week I forgot to use my waiver claim. I was going to pick him up and trade Waller because I was like, I wanted to pick him up, trade Waller, and trade Cooper. Because the reason why I hold on to Amari Cooper is because I have fucking Dak, so I don't want to trade away the stack.
Oh, where I'll give you CD.
No, you won't. I've been
Yeah,
asking
CD
you for
for
fucking
Cooper?
You
CD.
haven't been asking me shit, dude.
Dude, I haven't asked you for CD.
Like
dude.
once.
Dude, I said I offered you Waller, Aaron Jones, Amari Cooper. Remember that? For like CD and fucking
Joe Mason.
no, not
Yeah.
John Mason.
We'll
And
talk-
AJ Dillon.
Not AJ Dillon, though. We'll talk
Dude, I'll
about
pull up the text.
No, Joe Mixon was involved, I remember.
That's what I thought too.
Yeah,
No,
so
wait,
yeah.
don't get Joe Mason.
I mean, yeah, Castro's gonna win, bro. I think
You got Castro?
Julian's is just.
I got Castro as my lock, actually. I mean, I want to see the miracle story for Julian happen, but I look at his lineup and I just don't see it.
I just don't understand like why he did that trade. Like
It gives him a better
CMC is
chance.
not helping. Like I don't see.
I
I
don't
don't
think
see
it's
him
enough.
like.
man. T. Higgins, Pittsburgh, Dalton Schultz. I mean,
Like,
Ty
wouldn't you
Johnson.
want like Cordell and Tyreek to down with you instead of CMC? Like,
Can you imagine CMC got hurt this week?
Oh, God.
Dude, he would.
He
I
might
think.
never hear about
I think he might leave the league on like instantly.
All right, next matchup we got Diego Juniors versus Fear Pita's Tigers. I got Sonny winning this one. I don't know, man. Sonny's lineup is finally healthy again, and I think it'll get him a dub this week.
I have this as my game of the week, and I'm also going with Sonny. His
Big
team is
game.
on the come up. I don't really see a weak spot in that lineup. I look at Diego, I look at Jared Cook, I look at AJ Brown versus New England, I look at Josh Jacobs. I'm not too hot about them. I think this is going to be a really pivotal
I might
game.
start Noah Fant. So
All right,
Be on your
right.
toes,
You feel
dude.
good about it? Yeah, he's going to change his matchup. I mean, this is a huge game.
Alvin Kamara officially out.
God, I'm sure Kenny's pounding the table right now. Like,
Kevin,
you're upset.
Kevin already put up Tony
Tony?
Jr. The backup.
Tony Jones?
Yeah.
What about Ingram?
Yeah, like,
He's questionable.
oh, shit. Come on.
All right.
So your pick
Game of the
was
week, Sonny. I got him winning.
Castro?
I have Sonny as well.
Wow, Sonny across the board.
Upset.
clean sweep.
Game of the
bro.
week.
Playoff berth just going through your fingers.
Man,
Well, even if Sonny does win, Sonny's like
He's still
100
games a game.
plus, 100 plus points for behind Diego.
That's the if Diego loses out.
Our final matchup, we have Bad Vibes Forever versus Love Hurts. Bad Vibes Forever against.
But we also have you and Wilson.
Oh yeah, that's right. Empty spots in the lineup across. So,
Kind of hope he loses just for that.
I think Kevin. Well, who could he start? Antonio Brown or?
He has no second running back.
AB is questionable. You would have Collins, who Carson's not even playing, so Collins could get in.
I think Kevin's winning this one.
yeah, no one on his bench. No one on Nick's bench looks.
Also-
Kevin's got some good matchups.
Got love for
Mickey Hurts versus the Giants.
Good
Mickey
Kyle
Hurts.
Pitts week.
Kevin's just
Kyle
gonna
Pitts
get
versus
Mickey again.
Jacksonville.
He likes hitting Mickey. He doesn't mind.
This is the biggest Mickey team. Like
Do you
He's
like getting Mickey?
I mean, he's got literally like Cooper Cup.
All right,
and
but do
Jalen
you
Hurts.
like getting Mickey?
Not, you don't feel good about it. I don't think I get Mickey, man.
dude, this kid literally just said he had a Mickey schedule to end off the year.
It's
So, like,
because I play Wilson and me, and I play guy without Mahomes. And I mean, your team
So you have
should
Mickey.
get full strength. That's not me.
That's
Who do you have? Nick?
No, I got a guy this week, and I got
No,
you.
no. Who do you have for this matchup?
Oh, I got Kevin.
Yeah, I got Kevin.
Yeah, okay.
Kevin across the board. Kevin across the board. Last matchup, me versus You Wish.
Yeah, so this is pretty much loser goes home.
Yeah.
Winner lives to fight another week. I think should be a pretty low-scoring game, and I think you'll be able to pull it out just because of Wilson's lack of
Did CD just
talented
get
receiver.
activated? Cedric Wilson's projection just went down.
I mean, this
Yeah,
doesn't
probably
matter.
did. Yeah, he's projected 16 now. Goodbye, Arnold. Moon's projected 13.5.
I don't see
Who do you
anything.
have?
I have Justin winning this. Wilson's wide receivers are just
Like, I got two
They-
guys you can have. Just don't trade them.
they are just bad to look at.
I'm not offering a trade.
And
No,
yeah,
don't.
He won't accept it. He's stingy, dude.
Who do you have?
I have Justin as the lock of the week. Wilson's team is really,
Wow.
really shit. So
He's a
Van
really-
Jefferson, Jacoby Myers, Matt Breida. Nice.
Matt Breida might get more touches.
No, it's a fucking three-headed
Wow.
split there, man. It's not good.
Impressive.
All right.
What about
Well, I don't think we have to go over the Thanksgiving games. 'Cause we're already. I think
Yeah, these guys
touched
don't
on
watch
it. So, for anybody who listened to this point, thank you for tuning in. We appreciate you taking the time to hear what we have to say. And good luck to everybody this week. Hopefully, no injuries. Good luck to everyone going into the playoffs. Hopefully, we'll have another episode for round one of the playoffs when
That
that gets set. So
Yeah, for sure.
that's all we have for today.
Thank you,
Yeah,
guys.
happy Thanksgiving, everyone.
Yeah, happy
so-
Thanksgiving,
Happy
everybody.
Thanksgiving.
Ed, you're gonna lose this week.
It don't matter, dude. I don't care who I play.
I think I'm gonna win, bro. It's over.